Hey there everybody, it is WalkDoc21 here again, back with another video. Before I start today's topic, I just want to say that I've got a lot of great ideas for future videos coming up, so y'all want to stay tuned to the channel. I want to give a shout out to my new subscribers that I've gotten in recent days. Thank you, I'm close to my first goal, which is 10, just need 2 more subscribers. And, I am going to start doing this now on a more consistent basis. Because I got a lot of great ideas for videos. Anyway, we have finally made it, folks, to the 1909 World Series here on the MLB Time Capsule. Now, there's also a schedule change too. I want to note before we get further into this. I'm going to be doing a time capsule every single day on here. And then tomorrow I will be doing some NASCAR news that came out, because I'm passionate about NASCAR. And then I got a game review coming up on Saturday. And then Sunday's going to be a whatever day. We'll talk about whatever. And then we'll start doing some more content on the other days. But anyway, 1909. Tigers and Pirates. So, as I traditionally do, in this corner, led by manager Hugh Jennings, again with a record of 98-54, representing the state of Michigan, the 3-time defending American League champions, the Detroit Tigers. Yay! Yay for Detroit! Yay! And in this corner, representing the National League, led by player manager Fred Clark, with a record of 110-42, the National League champions from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh Pirates. So, in 1909, William Howard Taft was president, World War I was on the horizon, and the Chicago Cubs are not World Series champions anymore. Alright, so Detroit came into the series hoping to erase the painful memories of their last 2 World Series. And if you've been following this, you know what happened in the last 2 World Series. Detroit got beat both times by the Chicago Cubs. The Pirates were coming back for the first time since they got beat by the Boston Red Sox in the first ever World Series. Now, this was the first World Series of the modern era of baseball today. That's right, 1909 is considered the modern era. It was the first World Series to go all 7 games. It was also the first time that Detroit and Pittsburgh would meet. And it was also the last time for about 100 years until 2008. So, looking at a couple of notes here off to the side, that's why I'm looking away here. I don't mean to do that, but, I'm looking at the notes that I put down. The Tigers came into the series led by Hall of Famer Ty Cobb, who was one of the greatest players in the history of the MLB. He had just won his 3rd consecutive American League batting title this year, and he had a horrible, horrible series. He went 6 for 26. He only stole 2 bases, which is awful for Ty Cobb, one of the greatest players of all time, the all-time hits leader, or second all-time now to Pete Rose. But he held the record for many, many years. But he was outshined by one person in particular, which was Honest Wagner, who was playing for the Pirates, one of the all-time greatest players to play. He went in this series with a .339 batting average and 100 runs batted in. And, the Tigers had just a stacked, pitching staff this year, but in the end, the Pirates hitters just figured out a way to beat Detroit at every single turn. Looking at my notes here, this was a World Series the Tigers were determined to win. They wanted to change perception, because for years they'd been regarded as a losing franchise. They lost 2 consecutive World Series. Surely they're going to win on the 3rd time, right? Right? And then you had the Pirates that came in here that hadn't won a World Series either. But of 2 losing franchises, one of them has to win. This also made history because the Tigers became the first AL team to win 3 consecutive pennants, but also to lose 3 straight World Series. And there's another team that will join them, the Giants. Now, that's later in the timeline, so you don't have to worry. But the Giants will become the second team to lose 3 straight World Series. And the Pirates also set a record in this one, stealing 18 bases because the Detroit catching core was so weak. I mean, these guys literally had no answer for what Pittsburgh was doing. This was also the first World Series where the teams rotated wins, so Pirates would win Game 1, then Tigers come back and win Game 2. Pirates win Game 3, Tigers win Game 4, Pirates win Game 5, Tigers win Game 6, and Pirates win Game 7. So Pittsburgh wins their first World Series, and the Tigers become the first team to lose 3 straight. I'm sorry for Detroit. Now, taking a look here at this, you could tell in the games, back then games were completed in about an hour or 2 hours because baseball was a much faster game back then. You're looking at the times for all these games. Most of them were completed around an hour, 50 minutes or so. So, they really weren't that long of a game. The parks were Forbes Field, one of the most legendary parks where the Pirates played for years, and then Bennett Park, which eventually became Tiger Stadium. So you can also, too, there's a bit of a story on this one. The player manager for the Pirates at the time, Fred Clark, started this rookie pitcher named Babe Adams. Looking at my notes here, he became the first rookie to win 3 games in the World Series. And at the time, Fred Clark took a big risk because, you don't want to start a rookie Game 1 against that formidable Detroit hitting staff. Fred Clark took a risk, and the risk paid off for him. And it was probably one of the best moves that you'll ever see. And also, too, this is one of the best early World Series that you will ever see. There's no videos of it, but from my notes here and from what I read online, it was one of the best that was ever played. Honest Wagner that year led the league with a .339 batting average and 100 RBIs, which further cemented his place in Cooperstown. At the end of the series, Honest Wagner would get his only World Series of his career, and he would be enshrined in Cooperstown, and Ty Cobb would eventually get in the Hall of Fame, but, he sadly doesn't have that World Series title to his pedigree. I'm looking at some more notes here. Despite the miserable start, somebody made history, becoming the first Pirates batter to walk 6 people in the first 2 innings. There was a pitcher for them, Bill Donovan. He set a record in that. Honest Wagner in the series went with a .33 hitting. He had 7 RBIs and 6 stolen bases. Ty Cobb only batted .231, and he had 6 RBIs. And in this series, the Pirates outscored the Tigers in runs. They scored 34. Detroit only had 28. But a surprising fact here was that the Tigers actually outscored the Pirates in hitting. Detroit had 56, and the Pirates only had 50 hits. But the Tigers committed more errors. And I'm sorry to say this, but when you commit more errors, you are not, going to win a series. But at the end of the day, Ty Cobb just couldn't do enough, and I'm sorry, but when you only have one guy out there that's trying to hit the ball and he's your superstar and you don't really have anything else, you're not going to win. So, I'm sorry for Detroit, but, they'll be back, but you won't be seeing them again for a little while. So, folks, that was 1909, and before we go, if you've been following this series now, the Pittsburgh Pirates have one title of their own. So the Red Sox have one, the Giants have one, the White Sox have one, the Pirates have one, and the Chicago Cubs have 2, and the Detroit Tigers, Philadelphia Athletics, don't have any. That's right, they don't have any. They're losers. Not really. Anyway, that does it for 1909. And in the next episode, we finally reach the 19 yeah! And the 2 combatants. Connie Mack's attack pack is back. I told you folks you'd be seeing more of Connie Mack. And he's made a return with another team from Pennsylvania going up against the Chicago Cubs. But folks, you know how this ends. I mean, literally, if you know about the Cubs' history, they don't win. Just throwing that out there. They don't win, so I pretty much give it away, but that's okay. Be sure to subscribe to Walk Talk 21 for more great content coming down the line. I like all my subscribers. Thank you, everybody who subscribed. Shout out to them all. Great people. And next episode, 1910, Athletics versus Cubs. Until then, take care, and I'll see you guys around.